Good evening. I'm Janice Langbehn, and in trying to prepare for tonight's speech and express to you how family equality is essential, I'm saddened to think the only reason I'm up here is because my partner died. Some of you may have heard our story. In February of 2007, my partner Lisa Pond and I arrived with 3 of our children in Miami, Florida, to realize a family dream on our family vacation. We did not anticipate the unimaginable homophobia and inhumane treatment we would be faced with just hours later. While I unpacked our room, Lisa, my partner of 18 years, took our kids, Danielle, David, and Katie, up to the top deck to play basketball. Just a short while later, the kids were banging on the door saying, "Mommy was hurt." I opened the door and took one look at Lisa and knew the situation was very serious. I knew my partner was gravely ill. Thousands of miles from home, we had no choice but to seek medical care in an unfamiliar city. After local medics arrived, we hurried off the ship to the closest hospital, which was Ryder Trauma Center at Jackson Memorial Hospital. I headed into the waiting room to do the admission papers and begin the waiting. When I offered to fill out Lisa's admitting forms, I was told they didn't want my information. A short while later, a social worker came out to inform me that I was, quote, in an anti-gay city and state. He explained that this would mean I would not get to see Lisa nor make medical decisions without her healthcare proxy. Within 20 minutes, I contacted close friends in Olympia who raced to our house and provided those legal documents to the hospital, including our durable power of attorney, our living wills, and our advance directives. Sitting alone with our luggage, our children, and my thoughts, I watched numbly as other families were brought back into that trauma center to visit their loved ones. I was waiting to hear what was happening with Lisa, realizing as time passed that I was not being allowed to see her, and if the social worker's words were any indication, it was because we were gay. A short while later, 2 surgeons appeared and told me the massive bleed in Lisa's brain had caused damage that was not survivable. After given just seconds to digest that my partner was dying, I asked in desperation to see her. The doctors promised that I would be brought to see Lisa. Yet I was still waiting when a hospital chaplain appeared. I politely requested a Catholic priest to administer Lisa's last rites. I knew the children needed to see Lisa right away, and I used every tactic I could think of to bring them back to her. Yet 4 hours after they stopped life-saving measures, we still sat in that small waiting room. I showed the hospital staff the kids' birth certificates with Lisa's and my name on them, and I was told they're too young to visit. I thought to myself, how old do you need to say goodbye to your mother? In those hours of waiting and trying to calm our children, explaining to them that their other mom was going to heaven, I felt like a failure. Lisa was declared brain dead the following morning at 10:45 a.m. As she wished, her organs were donated, and she saved 4 lives. Over the ensuing 4 months, I contacted that hospital. Thank you. I contacted Jackson Memorial, asking for an apology, and complained about the way our family was treated. It all fell on deaf ears. When I asked to speak at my town's Pride event, I reached out to GLAAD for help and finally found someone who had listened to me. Cindy Krieger from GLAAD empowered me to tell my story without shame or apologizing for Lisa and my 18 years together. With the help of Lambda Legal, I filed a federal suit against the hospital that barred. We filed a federal lawsuit against the hospital that barred the children and I from saying goodbye to Lisa. GLAAD gave me media training so I could respond to all the questions that worked with Lambda to get our story out there, from Newsweek to CNN to the LGBT news show In the Life. In 2009, GLAAD got Tara Parker Pope from the New York Times to feature our family in the Sunday Times. It was that article that received a GLAAD award for Outstanding News Article. It was that New York Times article that was brought to President Obama and led to the call that changed hospital visitation rights in this country. Thank you. Please know this is not my natural thing that I do for a profession. Nearly a year ago, President Obama called me from Air Force One to apologize for how our family was treated at that hospital. He went on to say that he ordered the Secretary of Health and Human Services to change the rules nationwide for same-sex visitation just as they do blood relatives. Yes. Though we lost our legal lawsuit, I want to say, as of January 18th of this year, that rule is now in effect. So you can see from our tragedy, change occurred. However, none of this would have been possible without GLAAD. It is with all of you here tonight and the thousands of other members who support GLAAD and their mission of sharing stories in the media of LGBT people and families that empowered President Obama to make this courageous change once he had been made aware of the injustice to our family. Please, if you remember nothing else from tonight, I'm asking you to please support GLAAD and its endeavors, for without GLAAD, I would not have received the media attention and training that I needed while in deep grief. Without GLAAD, our family and Lisa's legacy would have been a one-time article in my local paper, instead of creating a national change so all LGBT individuals will not die alone with their partner and children behind a locked door. Thank you so much.